Hey, True Believers, Englentine here, and yeah, I'm still milking that 5-hour live stream. This is where we're talking about what would happen if Jack rolled up in his wheelchair to talk to Susan Auger in a I Am Richard C. Meyer t-shirt. We talk about Ethan's experience with Firestorm, here with Weaponized Nerd Rage, Ethan Van Sciver, Comics Division, and my brother Chef Jack. Hope you enjoy everything. So kick back, relax, and here we go.
I always wondered what would happen if I showed up at a con that Susan was attending, wheel up to her in my wheelchair, and while I'm wearing a T-shirt that reads "I am diversity in comics," just to see how violent. Just well, see how
first
how
of all, if you are
to get with a cripple.
If you're promoting his channel and not mine, you're gonna be slapped by your brother while you're there. Yeah, wrong shirt to wear.
What I would want you to do is take a picture, though, because nobody knows what she looks like, which makes her very dangerous.
Oh, I mean, she used to have pictures on her Facebook. I've seen what she looks like.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She looks exactly how you would think, because it was a picture of her cosplaying as Buffalo Bob from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, I've seen that picture, and it's not clear that that's actually her. It seems like she was taking pictures of cosplayers.
I was told by that was her. So, given the source, I was willing to take that as true.
Well, I'll go along with you. I mean, I don't know for sure. It seemed like contextually that photo wasn't, wasn't clear. And I would like to know. I mean, it's just some of these people feel dangerous to me. I mean, sometimes they just feel dangerous.
Oh,
I need to know, like,
especially her.
I know what Gad Ramon looks like. Okay, so it's like I know if I see him at a convention, if I see him coming, I know what's up. This other person, I don't know.
You're on this particular side of Comicsgate. Why would he hate you? I mean, you're not one of the extremists, even. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, the reason why they went after Cummings was, of course, his liberal use of the F word for gay people and diversity in the man in the wig phrase. That's why I was approached, because I said, well, we should stop using phrases like that. And everybody thought I was with Melissa Morgan and Gad Ramon. And that's why Gad Ramon talked to me, because he thought I would be like, let's take DNC down. Agree with it, but I don't think we should take anybody down. But you don't use that kind of language either, so why would they be so against you?
Yeah, you're very respectable.
I don't know. I think that here's what I think, because I've seen Susan's whole piecing together of this conspiracy thing. Susan thinks that I am responsible for all of you. So,
oh my gosh!
At some point,
good Lord!
At some point, like, I sat down and I said, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a lot of YouTube people who are going to get popular and have channels, and I'm going to promote them, and they're going to get real big, and then they're going to attack left-wingers or something like that in comics, and then, you know what I mean, and attack SJWs. Yeah. Well, I mean, and then it turns out that Gad kind of bought into this too. I mean, he started kind of tweeting this out, like these weirdo theories about me. And in fact, it's like, I've known Richard for like 10 years. I knew him because he used to, I knew him from social media. And somebody told me, when I was being called a Nazi and when I was being called all these horrible things, I was under siege by SJWs. I stayed off the internet, but I got brave one day and I typed my name into the search engine on YouTube, and I found this guy, Captain Cummings, who did a video defending me. And like, I nearly cried. I was so glad to meet this stranger and watch this video by this fellow who mounted a pretty sound defense of me and laughed. Like, he laughed it off. He made it seem like it was no big deal. When you're being attacked on the internet like that, when you have the mob after you, it really does feel like everyone in the world hates you. It's a very strange thing. And I don't know if any of you guys have gone through it, but it's an ugly and dark feeling. I learned a lot about it.
Very
actually,
light years ago.
One of the stories we tell and we get asked about, and yes, Cleveland, I'm going to say it again. And no, by the way, he's saying, "Oh, Englentine, you had a chance to take down the king, but you missed it." Just because me and DNC are in the outs, I don't want to take them down. You know, we just are on the outs. But we had a bit of a misunderstanding, which led to an argument, and for a week we had his followers, and I'm not saying, I like I said, and I say it again, he didn't send them, just the more extreme people. So yeah, we had that over.
That's going to happen
every day.
Well, you see that within the skeptic community too, where you have, you know, somebody talking about another channel, and then somebody gets the idea, or a lot of their subs get the idea of going and attacking this person. I've never seen a YouTube personality go and say, "Hey, this person, go attack them, sick them." And then the other side's like, "Well, calling it out is a dog whistle now." And it's like, what the hell, man? I mean, this shit gets confusing.
We're not seeing that in the comics community, but we are seeing that in the Magic the Gathering community right now.
You guys, here's the thing though. Somebody, a really, really big YouTuber, like a famous comics YouTuber, said to me one time, he said, the thing about it is that you can't go after each other as YouTubers. You can't use your channel to go after another YouTuber unless you were prepared to be overwhelmed, especially when they're bigger YouTubers, be overwhelmed by their fans, because you know, I'm already seeing my subs are really dear to me. They're really sweet, and they defend me. And I, you know, I don't ask them to, but they do, because we're developing a personal relationship. They see my face. They're in my home. You know, I talk to them about things that they care about, and they talk back to me. This is all very personal. It's very, very personal, and so you can't help but like bond with your subscribers. So you have to expect that if you're going to attack a YouTuber, those subs are going to go to war.
Go after him. Yeah.
And there's you can say don't do it, and it doesn't matter if you say don't do it, they're going to do it anyway. So you need to kind of be very careful about you know, if it's appropriate or not to go to war with another YouTuber.
I jokingly do send people after one guy. And that's when I say to people, Jack promised a video, so oh
yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, it's my brother.
You know, yeah. So
that's it.
Anyway,
how many times are you going to talk about that, Aaron?
Until I see that Lynn wine. Yeah, until I see the Lynn wine Bernie Wrights in memoriam, dude.
I've heard you two go after each other. It's very funny. I have 4 brothers, so I know.
Yeah, it's the way it works. Jack mentioned something in a tweet. We were arguing the other night, and we're just yelling. Well, he's yelling. I'm more passive aggressive, so he'll be yelling, and I'll like almost like Hannibal Lecter low talk through the argument. And in the middle of it, I go, "Wait a second, are you okay?" Because he had a bruise on his arm and he gave blood.
And then after, man.
After we were okay, after I found out he was okay, it's right back to the argument.
Yeah, it was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Your arm. You got this huge bruise on your arm." And I looked down and I was, "Oh yeah, I gave. They had to take blood. I went into the doctor. And they had to take. Oh, so you're okay? Oh yeah, sure.
Fuck you."
And it started right up from there.
Yeah, that's how brothers are. Well, you could have taken up the mantle of being the anti-SJW comic YouTuber. Tisk. You know, I was joking. Of course, I know you're joking, Cleveland. Don't worry about it. And considering all the heat that DNC gets, he can stay up there. I mean, I wouldn't mind the 50,000 subs and the views, but as far as being the target,
well, why don't you get there? Why don't you get there? You guys can work at growing your channel. There's no reason you couldn't have 50,000 subs.
We're trying. It's not for lack of trying. Yeah, but as far as being the target and the leader of this thing, he can have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the thing is about our argument, it was a misunderstanding. That's the whole thing.
So make up with them. What are you doing?
We've offered the olive branch.
But that was a long time ago. After that, it just is two sides that haven't talked.
Right.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah, and occasionally it gets brought up because, of course, it doesn't get talked to. I think that's a big problem. He talked about it with his subs. I talked about it with mine, and we never actually came together about it.
You know, I have publicly offered an apology.
He actually did apologize on a live stream,
and I apologized here. I apologized on Twitter. I made it known that yes, I made a mistake. I got I got DNC confused with Cummings.
Don't apologize.
He was,
and
don't apologize like that.
And I said, look, I made the mistake, so you know what? I'm right. You're right. I made the mistake. You didn't say what I accused you of. And he still, though, every once in a while, talks about those assholes over at I Love Comics.
Well, now,
yeah,
that happened not too long ago. But once again, yeah, I'd be willing to. I would be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope you guys do.
Yeah. I like Mr. Dystopian saying Melissa united everyone together, ironically.
Yes.
That's funny.
It's true. Trying to separate it. Oh, and Tiger Mask and Jack is asking for more retrospectives.
What's that mean?
So we have a history of comics video series that we do, as well as Jack does If I Wrote, where we deconstruct the heroes to the very bottom and just rebuild them with our own imaginations, whatever we would come up with. So, yeah, we have stuff like that. It's just fun, a lot of fun. I did the Brother Power the Geek, just for fun. I did the Platinum Age of comics before even the Golden Age, and I even did a bit on the very first comic book and the Yellow Kid. Jack did Little Nemo. Yeah, we did. We do history of comics, and we just go. We can't go behind the scenes like you do, but we do talk about the history and what was behind it and such like that as much as.
I don't know. I don't know what my brother did for his history videos, but I know that, like, for the Little Nemo video that I did, I put in about a week's worth of research before doing that.
He did a June Foray also after she died.
I did a tribute to June Foray. Nice. A 4-episode series on Jack Kirby's life and as part of his tribute for the 100-year.
Those were amazing.
Yeah, that was a great video.
The one that keeps getting, I knew it would get the views, is the feud between Stanley and Jack Kirby. That one's the one that gets. We still get comments on that, even though it's in August.
Yeah. Well, both those videos were great.
And the interesting thing is, I don't take a side in that video. And I get people in the comments who are like, "You're right. You're absolutely right. Stan Lee screwed Jack Kirby." And then you get people going, "You're right. You're absolutely right. Jack Kirby was an asshole." And I'm like, I didn't make either of those points. I don't know where they're coming from, but apparently I did something good with that video.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, people like it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to do. It really is. I'm a big fan of learning and reading documentary books and watching documentaries on I watched the that one that everybody was putting down. She Makes Comics. It's on Netflix. And I understand why it deals with identity politics for the last half, but the first half is straight up history. And I recommend that to anybody. But I love doing that, learning about that kind of stuff and doing those kind of videos. Unfortunately, drama pays the bills.
Yeah, look at how good Unranked Chevron is doing. He's got a video right now, 1.8 thousand views. I went to his channel. Good for you. Good job, Unranked Chevron. I think it's his one about Gail Simone. Criticizing
was it
writers.
About? Yeah, I did that too. I'm very happy for Unranked Chevron. He does very good videos. I agree with you. But I think he definitely deserves more subs.
There's a good community here.
The undeniable fact is, though, that negative sells. I mean, the little Nemo Winsor McCay history of comics video that I did, it's still only, I don't think it's got, has it hit 300 views?
Which one?
Winsor McCay, the little Nemo history of comics.
Oh yeah, that one didn't do too well.
Yeah,
neither did the Yellow Kid.
I don't think it's hit 300 views. So
that's why I say that the drama pays for the good stuff sometimes.
Yeah. So I did another video just to give you an idea. I did another video entitled "The Top 10 Popular Comic Book Creators Who Are Really Huge Assholes."
Oh, that's gonna do well.
Yeah, oh my God!
Except for one thing,
it came close to getting over 1,000 views in its first 6 hours.
Yeah. If it wasn't for your shit brother.
You did not plan it. You did not plan on doing it.
I really didn't, dude. We were getting ready for the Spirit Awards, and I wanted everybody to have a last chance to do votes. So I separated all of the segments, 20 videos, put them out at this like at 30-minute increments, and it buried his video before it got its legs. I felt so bad. I really did. I even I made a video apologizing for it and pointing it out. And people said if it wasn't for that video, they wouldn't know yours existed. I was so your video, dude.
Oh, speaking of, congratulations on your Spirit wins, Ethan.
Thank you. Well, yeah, I appreciated those. It was really, really nice. I mean, you know, the people voted and you know, and selected me out of all of those other. I really, that kind of thing. I was at a awards banquet where I had to do a presentation once, and this was just a couple of years ago in Detroit, and it's on. You can find footage of it too if you look. It's on YouTube, and this SJW Comic Pro got up before me to give out Best Artist. And he said something real weird. He was just like, you know what? Like, I've never received one of these, and it's a good thing because I don't value awards. Now, this award goes to...
What the?
And I got up.
That's such crap.
It was so weird. And I got up and I just went, well, I had to give out Best Writer. I was like, I haven't received one of these either. I've received a few awards. And each one I really value. It's like that I was selected and given an award by my peers or by my fans means the world to me. So whoever's getting this one, you know, cheers, enjoy it. This is wonderful for you.
Yeah.
And that got like.
It just sounds like somebody who's bitter because he's not getting any kind of recognition.
Well, yeah, it's
right.
That's legit sour grapes. Like, you know, it's like, you know, I don't want one of these anyway.
Well, the Spirit of one thing I like about doing the Spirit Awards, and I said this during it, is everybody picked the nominees and then everybody picked the winners. And to me, I thought, okay, I want to be completely out of this. I want, you know, it's not like we're set. Like tonight, we picked our top 10 Marvel. Tomorrow, DC, and the next and next. But it's just so much fun. These are the people they like. And it was really cool because we knew going in, we did the worst fan interaction for the Gabbies, and for the Spirit, we said, okay, let's do best. And we were joking even as we were making the list. We should just call this the Ethan Van Skyver.
I actually introduced it. I got to read off the winner for that one. And I actually said, appropriately, the first winner, you know, the very first winner of the Ethan Van Skyver Best Fan Interaction Award is Ethan Van Skyver.
Oh, thank you.
Because it was.
Not anymore.
Yeah, thank you to the people.
Trolling people about Robin Hood, so I'm sure that's going to go away.
Yeah, but the ones but the ones that are reacting poorly are not the fans, so they're not the ones that are voting.
Ethan, as a liberal, I can tell you that I think the fact that you are trolling the SJWs to be enormously hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
Enormously.
I hope they think it's funny eventually, but I don't understand why they don't think it's funny. I would think it was funny, but I wanted to say one more thing. I wanted to just tell Weaponized Nerve Rage. Listen, I hit the bell on your YouTube channel as well. You have to understand, I'm a big fan of you guys. So I hit the bell and I get your notifications and I always look forward to them. I mean, You're doing a magnificent job.
Wow.
I'm watching your channel grow. I love your whole shtick. I love the lighter thing. I get excited when I hear that lighter.
For him, credit where credit is due, brother.
That was Englentine's idea.
Oh, wow.
Because I started doing it, and then he's like, no, you got to refine it. You got to make it, you know, like a punctuation. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Like the cigarette smoking man in the X-Files. Yeah, it's got to be its own character.
Yeah, and he plays it just the way we were talking about, because I said it's got to be like you're starting off, and you got to hear the smoke. Then start.
I'm about to tell you guys some stuff.
Yeah,
like that's what I dig it. I like what you're doing. I think your channel's going to grow, and I love your whole Spider Jerusalem thing. It's perfect.
Wait until I get the new character or the new character art out, because I basically told the artist who did my character. I've put a couple of the pictures out there already, but I'm going to premiere it on the channel on New Year's Day. New year, new channel is what I'm saying with it. And he's like, okay, so what do you want me to do with this? I'm like, okay, well, just draw me with Spider's glasses. And I sent him reference material, and he's just like, so draw Spider.
You know what? I'm glad to hear that, because I picture you looking just like Spider Jerusalem now. Like,
that's the joke, is I'm like, there's only so much difference you could do between two bald dudes.
Oddly enough, Jack and I actually walk around in Mr. Miracle and Orion masks. So look at this. That's what you get. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you guys cool with Captain Frugal? Does he ever come on your shows?
Oh, yeah.
We literally have Frugal Friday, where we put one of his videos on our channel to help him grow. Yes, he's one of the family.
Frugal Friday. All right, good.
He lets us take whatever video we want. We put it on, and I like the fact that it draws attention to him. He's a great guy. Yeah, and I'm willing to do that with anybody in this community.
Yeah, no, all of us YouTubers are friends. We all talk. We're all, you know, open to each other. I mean, I've got a chat server up that has, you know, a big bulk of a lot of the smaller channels on it, just because, you know, we all like networking, we all like talking, and we all like to coordinate. Okay, let's not upload the same video right next to each other.
What time are you doing the live stream? I don't want to run into your time. Oh, you're doing it at 8? Okay, well, tell you what, how long were you planning on doing it? Because I wanted to do one that night too. Okay, so that
last week we coordinated a live stream with the girls. They were doing the harem. And we said, okay, as soon as you're ready, you send me a tweet, so we'll turn it off and everybody can go to yours. And in the middle of ours, we hear, oh, Ethan's starting a stream. He'll be running over the harem. I can't help
it. I was just going to say, like, I wish I could be considerate. Like, with everything that goes on in my house and my schedule, the baby going down, if I can get, the minute I'm allowed to do a stream, I do it. And it's like I can't really pay attention to what everybody else is going.
Nobody is going to blame you for that at all.
Nobody blames you at all.
I'm sorry about that, guys. But
I mean, there's some times where I'm like, oh, he's streaming? Hang on. I can't turn this off.
Gotta
watch the replay.
It's all good. It's all good.
I mentioned to him, I said, okay, because people in the comments, should we go to harem? Should we go to, and I said, sorry, Ethan, but I said, he's got 7,000 subscribers. Go on over and watch the harem, and then grab him after, because he'll post it.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing to do.
No, continue. Talking over each other. Sorry, man.
But I said that's the thing to do. Definitely.
Yeah, I figured with 7,000 versus their 100, you know, you would definitely have a bigger audience, even if, you know, some of ours didn't go there. But plus, they could always watch years after. I find I'm watching a lot of years after, because I'm either doing my own video or I've only been able to hit a couple of the live streams actually live.
Well, you guys, the other thing that I was going to say is that you guys are talking about worrying about piling up, like doing the same subjects and not wanting to do that. But I disagree with that entirely. Like if something happens, like a big interesting event, I want all of you to do it. Because just as like somebody who's watching all of you, I'll be like, first of all, you guys never agree, which is great. like if you listen to Doug Ernst, he has a completely different take than DNC has, and like Weaponized Nerd Rage has a way different point of view than everyone else. So it's like I almost want to. I go and I check all of your channels. I'll check and see what what Englentine's saying and what Captain Frugal is saying. I'd rather you guys all tackle the same subjects, because some of these subjects are so great that I could listen about them all day long.
Yeah,
what I more meant by that is we all know that YouTube sub boxes and notification things don't work very well, so we don't upload them at like the same time, because there's been a couple of times where like I forgot which. Okay, I remember which book it was. It was the Punisher War Machine issue 1. And me and Englentine uploaded our review like 30 minutes apart from each other. Really and we understand that, okay, that means one of us isn't getting hit on notifications to people who are subscribed to dual channels. So like, okay, hold off for an hour and a half. So then put yours up. And then, so it's a coordination, not so much a, okay, well, don't do a video about this, because we do want as many varying opinions about all of this, because we are all different walks of life. I mean, Jack's a liberal, Englentine's conservative. I'm, kind of a moderate. Comics is, I think, a Republican.
No, I'm a moderate libertarian.
Moderate libertarian. So there we go. We like we like all hearing the different viewpoints. So yeah, definitely that's something we do.
I also like the fact that we're getting different in the ways that Doug Ernst said this, and I am paraphrasing, but he comes from a more philosophical area. At the time, DNC has done comics before. I've come from a studied history of comics, so you get from, and Chef Jack can write. So you do get different viewpoints from that particular area as well, not just political, but how we approach comic books itself. And now, if you do the same subject, you're coming from somebody who was there in the middle of the battlefield, so to speak.
Yeah, but I don't talk about, like, I can't talk about personal things. Like, I can't talk about things that are, like, I can't really give my opinion about drama. Because
that's understandable, because at some point you might have to work with somebody.
That's not even that. I'm not worried about that. It's just that it's inappropriate. I mean, it just feels like I have insider information that's privileged, and it's not mine to share.
Right.
I mean, the Mark Wade stuff that I just sent, I consider it harassment at this point, and it's like, this is the kind of thing, it was completely unfair, completely uncalled for. Yeah. And I've tried to speak to him 4 or 5 times since then to see if maybe he was just in a bad mood and maybe it was like no big deal. No, that's how he feels. That's what he meant. So, all right, look, this is what you can expect, from this guy. I think it's some of this stuff has to kind of come above board.
You could do behind the scenes, kind of like the Robert Kirkman thing, where he's talking about how a comic book was made and what led up to this particular idea and why you did this particular thing, though. You don't have to get personal about it, and that's awesome.
I'm gonna have to do that when I get to Firestorm, because I'm going to do every single comic book I've ever done.
Wait.
What?
You're doing Firestorm?
No, he did.
I did Firestorm.
Oh, okay.
Back in 2011, 12.
I think I missed that entire run.
Good.
I just realized I have, before I knew who you were, I remember talking about, oh man, this is kind of embarrassing. I should not. Okay. Anyway,
go for it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the Captain Cummings thing. Like, I'm a fan of, forget about whether we're fighting or not, whatever. I am a fan of Captain Cummings' videos. I think he's funny to watch. I like his stuff. But the first time I saw his video, I was like, who's that weirdo in the hat? Because he used to wear this John Deere hat.
That was awesome, though. That's why
I missed that hat.
I know. But that's the thing. See, the first time I saw it, I was like, who the freaking hell is this weirdo in the hat? And I put YouTube, I'll put like comics topic, boom, and just let it play. Whatever it plays is fine. And a couple of his videos came up, and I found myself listening more and more and more and more. And with you, I hated the idea of Green Lantern Rebirth. I really did. It was a good story. And afterwards, we got some great Green Lantern books, but I was one of those big Kyle Rayner. And when it came down to Flash, I remember thinking, gosh darn it, is there a book that, because every Flash issue I found, #1 of Flash Rebirth, your signature was on it. I was like, is there ever one book this guy didn't sign? Yeah. And then I saw it. I was like, oh, that's such a great thing. And it's kind of funny because, you know, just shut up and enjoy, Aaron. Just shut up. And now I just outed my name too. But yeah, I think.
Oh, come on.
Weird.
I've already
like
called
nobody knows it anymore.
Yeah.
But now that I'm remembering, that was my first I'm aware of who Ethan Van Sciver is kind of moment.
Right. Yeah, everybody, that was a big thing. Green Lantern for me. I mean, it was a really big thing.
He comes walking in and he goes, "Well, you're gonna like this one," and he hands me the Green Lantern. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, I thought Kyle Rayner was a fine character and you could do those stories with, but no, we ended up getting Blackest Night and we ended up getting a whole ton of great stories.
Well, I mean, I love Kyle too. You know, it's just I don't believe in missing pieces. I want I want Barry Allen back, but I want everybody there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I want Hal Jordan back. I want everybody there. I want the entire, like Kyle Rayner being a White Lantern. I didn't like. I wanted him to be a Green Lantern, so he is, and that's
cool.
That's how it is now.
That's the whole thing. If you just give something patience, if with a good writer, a good artist, it could be good. You know, I mean, hell, we should have learned that lesson from Prez by Neil Gaiman.
Yeah,
yeah, a good writer can make any character interesting.
Very
and
true.
that's
absolutely.
Really cool. And you did Firestorm. When did you do Firestorm? Or what?
So it's 2012. And it was for the New 52, and it was right after Flash Rebirth. I was doing a bunch of other weird things, and Dan Didio took me aside to breakfast, I think, at a convention, and said, "Hey, we're doing this thing." He's like, "I want to offer you Superman for this. We're relaunching everything." And I just looked at him and just shook my head, like, "Nah."
Really?
And he said, "Yeah, I wasn't into it. Like, I was bummed out over Blackest Night because I wanted to draw some of Blackest Night, and everybody else got to draw these things I created, and I didn't. So I was just like feeling kind of like bitter." And he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I want to do some creator-owned stuff. I'll do covers." "Hey, what do you want to do covers for?" "Firestorm." So he's like, "Why don't?" And Jeff Johns came to me and said, "Why don't you just take over the series, write it, draw it?" And I didn't feel up to that, but I thought about it, and I got an idea for Firestorm. Like, it just hit me. I got this idea. And so I said, well, I'm going to need a co-writer to help me with this. And I just figured, look, she's really popular on Twitter. So I called Gail Simone. And Gail Simone became my co-writer on Firestorm. And it was, no, it wasn't. It was, no. It turned out to be, look, sometimes, not necessarily saying anything against anyone. It's just sometimes things just don't work out creatively. Some partnerships just don't work out, and this one didn't on this particular book. And it, from the first issue on, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to do a commentary and just explain why the book was DOA with the first issue. DOA, just from one panel, actually about 2 pages, killed the entire series. And why? It's like I remember reading the reviews. People were angry about it, and that was Firestorm. So I've got to figure out a way to talk about this and do it in a very professional way. These commentaries, my entire history, creative history, I want to lay down in videos on my channel so that you can read one of my books and then read my thoughts on it after you're done. You go to my channel. That
sounds great. For a while, I thought you're going to, I tell everybody I have a 5-year blank spot when it comes to Marvel DC because I didn't like New 52. So I just bowed out. I was already out of Marvel at that point, and I went Golden Age. And that's when I really got into kind of studying comics rather than just reading them. And I'm not in any way, shape, form saying I know everything, but I thought you were going to sell me on, oh, hell, there's this New 52 title you should check out, Firestorm. It's like quite the opposite. Like, hey, I got to check this book out. No. Nope.
I didn't draw it. I remember just being like, they paid me to sort of plot it, in quotes, co-plot it. And I just, I'll talk about it, and it is an intensely interesting story. I'm sure it's all kinds of drama, but I will definitely have to figure out a way to do commentaries for those issues, and you should listen to them when I do.
So there you go, true believers. What'd you think? I was actually kind of surprised. I really was expecting, hey, yeah, you should check this book out. I loved the story about Firestorm. I loved a lot of insights we get. And it really, I also felt like we were just talking about what it's like to be YouTubers. Anyway, just what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, you know the drill. Click like, share to get the word out about the channel, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't done that already, and ring that bell. Even if you're subscribed, hit it, because some people haven't been getting notified. Also, this is the way we make our living, so if you don't mind helping us out, go on over to Patreon. Drop the $1 in the till. Links in the description below. Also, my brother's starting his own channel. The link is in the description below, as well as for Comics Division, Weaponized Nerd, and Captain Frugal. So check their channels out. We'd like to thank everybody who has already helped us. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.
Listen to what the flower people say.